ecosystem growth manager at Oasis Protocol Foundation. Basically, I work with our BD community and marketing team and help set priority and strategy around how to grow the ecosystem. Oasis is a privacy and confidential computation focused network that operates both as its own layer 1 as well as a sidechain. And so basically we just launched the first ever confidential EVM supporting confidential smart contracts that can hide aspects of state. And so the best way I normally can explain that is by just giving examples. So for example, in gaming, right? Gaming is almost all compelling Web3 or Web2 games have some aspect of state that where some aspect of not knowing what something is going on in the game. So for example, a card game, you can't know what the other player's cards are or like what the state of the deck is. Strategy game, there's like this idea of fog of war where you can't see aspects of the map. A role-playing games has puzzles, quests, riddles, where you have to have an unknown solution or like a solution that's not revealed to people. And so this is pretty hard to do on normal EVMs due to their 100% transparent nature. And so like with these confidential smart contracts, it becomes trivial. And so you could build those games entirely on Oasis, but also if you are built, on, a different chain already, like you have your role-playing game on Polygon or something like that, you could just leverage Oasis for your confidential computation. So a user experience might look like you're playing this role-playing game, and when you eventually get to this point in the game where you have to solve a riddle, MetaMask would automatically switch to Oasis, or Oasis Sapphire Network is what it's really called. You would submit your encrypted solution there. If your solution was correct, a message would be sent over our messaging bridge, and it would go to the origin chain where it would say, hey, he got it right, unlock his NFT reward or his on-chain experience or something along those lines. And so you can essentially use Oasis to offload your confidential computation needs. So we don't use zero knowledge for this. We actually use trusted execution environments. So basically the way that it works is that all transactions are encrypted. Then they go into this black box, which is known as the trusted execution environment. They get decrypted in there, and then it just operates as a normal Ethereum virtual machine. And then before the outputs are, then all the computation is done. All the state changes are logged, and it gets encrypted again based off of each application's what parameters they specified. They could say nothing gets encrypted again, and then it's entirely public and it operates like a normal EVM, or they can say it's entirely confidential, or they can pick some spectrum in between. I think the benefits over zero knowledge are essentially like because everything's unencrypted in this black box. There's no complex zero knowledge circuits or anything like that. You just code in Solidity and it just works. And then it's also like better able to have like composable applications because everything works exactly like an EVM. So it's not difficult to build a DEX and a lending protocol and 5 DAOs and a gaming project all on the same network that can all interact with each other, where there can be some complications with zero knowledge in that. So we launched on mainnet, sort of a soft launch 2 months ago. We've been building sort of the infrastructure. So as I mentioned before, you need a messaging bridge. We just launched that a week ago. And then the last step is like a gas relayer, which hopefully should be launched in the next 3 weeks to a month. And that gas relayer is super crucial to the user experience because essentially like you would want, in that gaming example, you would want to be able to pay with the token, the gas token of the origin chain, so that the gamer doesn't even know that they essentially, left the BNB network or the Polygon network, Ethereum network. They just want, it would just be the same as making that transaction on their origin chain. So in this way, like the Oasis Sapphire network is entirely abstracted away. And I know I spoke a lot about gaming, but there's a lot of use cases for like confidential DAO voting, confidential soulbound tokens, these types of things. So anything that like might have some sort of aspect of state you want to hide, you can now use the Oasis Sapphire network for that. So thank you so much for Web3 Trenches Podcast. All viewers, please subscribe, and also subscribe to the Oasis Protocol Foundation and Oasis Network Twitter.